Hey, what's up, Simply Recipes crew? Nick Evans here from machismo.com and the Dinnernet cooking show, which you can watch now on YouTube. We are cooking live today, making a really fun recipe, a recipe that I love making for my family, and I originally thought that I was just making for my children, but then I realized that actually I love it also. So now I make a big batch of them because they're very delicious. So so what we're doing today is we are making Goldfish Chicken Tenders. So if you are a parent, you probably have a big or small or medium-sized bag of this in your pantry. And one day I was making chicken tenders and I ran out of breadcrumbs. And I thought, what the heck, I'll try it. So I mashed up some of these and used them on my chicken tenders, and they were outstanding. And my kids thought it was really hilarious too, because it's like orange chicken tenders. Oh my gosh. So funny, right? But anyway, before we do that, let me go ahead and post the recipe in the comments. So if you want to follow along on the printed recipe, you absolutely can do that. Also, leave me a quick comment, say where you're watching from. Hopefully your state isn't on fire like Colorado is right now, where I'm doing this from. There's like smoke in the air in Denver. It is a weird place to be. So yeah, hopefully there's no fires where you're from, but it's probably hot. It's hot everywhere. Hopefully you're safe and having a good week, but drop me a quick line. I'd love to see where people are watching from. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and post a comment there. That's the recipe that I just linked to. So if you wanna bookmark that, save it, whatever you wanna do, you can follow along there. But this is a super fun recipe, and my family just absolutely thinks it's hilarious, and it's also delicious. So let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna need for these is obviously some goldfish, right? We always have a big bag of these in my pantry. It's like on my shopping list every week, basically. Easy snacks. Now, you do not have to use Goldfish brand goldfish. I've also made these with like Cheez-Its. You want some kind of cheese cracker, basically, is what you're going for there. So, whatever you have that is crunchy and cheesy, it's gonna work fine. But we always have goldfish, so that's what it is. And so besides that, you basically need like a normal breading station, something you would make normal chicken tenders with. So I have some just chicken breasts that I chopped up, and you want it in like, 2 or 3 inch slices. That's kind of what I usually go for there. And then what you want is some flour. This is just all-purpose flour. And you season it pretty well with salt and pepper. You want a good season on your flour there. And then a few eggs, right? There's a few eggs whisked up. And then finally, you can take some aggression out by adding about 2 cups of your goldfish crackers to a bag like this. And you just kind of mash them up. This is a great thing if you want to get your kids involved in the kitchen. Give them this bag and tell them to hit it with like a, rolling pin or a mallet if you have a kitchen mallet, whatever. But you want them into it's okay if there's some chunks, but you want them to be a pretty fine texture. I'll show you what mine look like here. Just dump them out into this little bowl here. So you can see mine, there's some chunks. It's kind of fun to get like half a goldfish sometimes on one, but mostly they're pretty mashed up. I wouldn't like put these in a food processor or anything too crazy. I mean, some texture is just fine. And I have a batch in the oven. Hold on, I'm gonna go flip them real fast. Beautiful. Okay, you'll see those in a minute. They're a surprise, but there's a batch in there so you can see like the finished product. Okay, so let's do a batch, and so you can kind of see like what they look like, because they're kind of different than what you might think of as like a chicken tender. So I'm just gonna get like a baking sheet. And I recommend, if you have some non-stick spray, I just give this a little spray. You could lay down like parchment paper if you wanted or something like that, but just a little spray works great. These don't really stick, which is kind of nice. Something about the Goldfish cracker, I don't know, I've never had any problems with these sticking, so that's a bonus. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some of our chicken to our flour first. And just do it, do this in batches, do a few at a time. It's a good idea. And you just want to coat them really well in flour. By the way, if anybody has questions about this, feel free to leave a comment. Pretty straightforward. It's a fun recipe though. Kids love this stuff. So after they are in the flour, you move them honestly, you kind of got to use your fingers for these. There's really no better tool. So kind of shake them off. You don't want a lot of flour. And then into the egg mixture there. Perfect. Shake them, shake them. One more in there. Woo, okay. And then just coat them really well in the egg. And the flour and the egg combo is what's going to make it so the Goldfish crackers can stick. And so let's see here. We are getting there. And then I'm going to transfer them straight to the crushed Goldfish cracker situation. Beautiful. This is not exactly a hard recipe. I mean, some people think that, making your own chicken tenders is a lot of work, but I mean, it's not that bad. You're not making like 10 pounds of these, I usually do like 1.5 pounds or maybe 2 pounds if I want a few leftovers. For my family, my kids will eat like 2 or 3, and I will eat all the rest. Basically, is what I will do. I will eat all the rest. Yes, and that is okay. Art says, "Watching from Detroit." What's up? What's up, Art? Detroit City. Sweet. I was supposed to go to Michigan this summer. My trip couldn't go for obvious reasons, but pretty sad about it. Why am I not seeing comments? Hold on. Oh. I like to see comments on the computer. Oh, there's like a lot of comments. Man. My computer's not updating. Chicago people are here. What's up, Mark? Ernest, cool. Secretary, Maryland? I never knew that town. Zarina says, do you season the chicken? I don't season the chicken, but I do season the flour very heavily with salt and pepper. So that's kind of my my thing. You could, if you wanted to flip it, you could season the chicken if you wanted to. But yeah, you want something, because the goldfish have some salt in them, but they're mostly just like a crunchy, cheesy kind of thing, right? So yeah, you definitely want a little bit of seasoning on the inside layer, the flour layer. And the thing about these goldfish is they are not as finely textured as like breadcrumbs, right? So you really want to like press on them. And if you do a good job, they will kind of look like that. And they're pretty, almost 100% covered in goldfish, crushed goldfish. These are kind of a ridiculous recipe. I promise you, your kids will like these though. Kids, these are always a hit with the kiddos. And if you don't have kids, you know what? Make them for a date night. They're delicious. I would totally make these for a date night with my wife. Back in our young 20s, we would have loved to snack on a big sheet pan of these. Watch Netflix and eat Goldfish Chicken Tenders. So I would say this one, you probably can't really tell. This is probably as big as I would go. This one's pretty big. You try to want to make them all kind of the same size so they cook evenly. But you know, they don't have to be perfect. I mean, we're not like weighing them or anything. At least I'm not. I would never do that. Some people might. That's crazy talk. That's too much work. This is not a recipe made for work. This is an easy one. Boom. So yeah, you can bust out a few pounds of these, no problem. So here's our sheet pan. We're filling it up. It's looking good. What are people saying? Mary from Dallas, what's up? I would use tongs. Yeah, that might work. I don't know. I don't have any tongs right now. I'll go wash my hands in a minute. But tongs would be fine. That's the pro move right there, is the tongs. Can you show us the bag again with the fish? Well, I dumped it out. Oh, this bag is just Goldfish crackers. I am not sure if I think they're available like everywhere. I mean, but you could use any cheesy cracker, like Cheez-Its, whatever, I don't know. Probably a million. Oh, Renee says, I tried those in my air fryer. Yes, if you have an air fryer, these would be delicious. I will say I tried to pan fry these once, like in actual oil, and I thought that the crackers like burned a little bit, so I didn't actually like them more baked, which is how I cook them. But if you had an air fryer, I think they would work really well as an air fry recipe, actually, and they would be done faster for sure. So if you're an air fry fan, do that. That's a good idea. So this is our last little batch here. I'm just gonna do them all. And again, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, I wouldn't, you know, deep frying these, I think they would get too burned. You could try it. I thought that they got when I pan fried them, I thought they got too dark. Because these crackers are already pretty baked and pretty crispy. So if you overcook them, they just kind of burn, like the cheese burns. Baking is really where it's at, but I think air frying would be okay. They would cook super fast. Air fryers get hot. I have an air fryer, I love it. Actually, I haven't tried these in air fryer. That's a good tip, I'm gonna do that. Trinidad, what's up, Zarina? Making these for my grandkid. Oh yeah, do it. Grandkids, any kid. Kids love this recipe, man. It is always a winner with the kiddos. So again, the only tricky part is just making sure that you really press on these crackers, because they have a tendency to not want to stick really well. So you really gotta force the issue a little bit. And you can see it's okay if they're a little bit, they don't have to all be crumbled, you know? Sometimes people overthink this. I had somebody tell me they wanted to like make these, but you know, food process the goldfish. I'm like, yeah, I guess, but it's too much work, man. Tammy says, is there a particular dipping sauce? So my kids like these pretty plain actually, but I like them with honey mustard sauce. It is really yummy. Or, I mean, you could try like ranch, but I think honey mustard is where it's at. I always make sure I have a little honey mustard in the house if I'm making these. And also, if you check out the recipe that I linked to in the comments, I show you what I do. Sometimes you'll have a few little leftovers. If you make like, say you make 1.5 pounds for 2 pounds of these, you might have, you know, 4 or 5 little chicken tenders left over. And what I like to do is save them, and the next day, I make a sandwich out of them. And it is amazing. It's like a dad sandwich. I don't share that with anybody. Cool, we did a whole batch. Sweet. All right, let me wash my hands real fast. So, here is our finished sheet pan of goldfish. These are awesome. Yes. The texture is awesome on these. That is the point, Willow. Yes. The texture is really good. They stay super crunchy and crispy. It's a really fun thing. So these, you know, assuming you're about this size, these will need to bake for like around 18 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go do a switcheroo here. And I have some in the oven that I started right before. So you can kind of see what the finished product is like. Goldfish, yummy. Ooh, they're hot. Hold on, I need a hot pan thing. Okay. Ooh, so here are my finished ones. Ta-da! You might not be able to tell, but they're not like dark brown, but they do have a little color on them. I'm just gonna test one of the thicker ones to make sure they're baked all the way through. Oh yeah. Perfect. Definitely cooked through at like 170, 175. So yeah, you can serve these with all kinds of different dips if you want. I'm gonna take a smaller one here. Just show you guys, try to get it up close. So this is like my finished Goldfish baked chicken tender. You can see it has some really nice texture on it. Really delicious. Super juicy on the inside still. Patty says, is your oven set on convection? I don't have a convection oven in this condo. This is just like an old school oven. A convection oven would cook these much faster, actually. So delicious. Let's try a bite. Mmm. So crunchy. And they have like kind of a little cheesy texture, flavor. Cheese isn't a texture. Crunchy texture, cheesy flavor. Really juicy still, not dried out at all. Mmm. Oh, I got like a whole goldfish. That was delicious. Boom. Renee says, could you do something similar as a fish stick? Yeah, totally. Goldfish fish sticks. That's a tongue twister, but you could do it. Probably be good. I like that idea. Might steal that idea. I won't steal it, but borrow that idea. Yeah, so this recipe is super fun. My kids love it. They are eating it tonight for dinner, so they don't know that yet, but they are. And yeah, I really hope you try it out. Again, the recipe is one of the top comments on this post, so you can scroll up and check it out. And yeah, it's a fun one. So make it, it's super easy. It's a fun little weeknight meal. Get your kids involved in the kitchen. It's a good one. All right, hope you guys all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Oh, and Thursday, if you're not doing anything, my second episode of The Dinnernet is coming out. So bop on over. You can go to dinnernet.show. That's DINNERNET, dinnernet.show. And subscribe to my cooking show there. So check that out. Yeah, super fun. So we're making chicken fajitas this week on The Dinnernet. So it's gonna be a blast. So check that out, and I hope you guys are having a great, safe, fun week. Fingers crossed that school goes okay. I don't really want to talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Okay, bye everybody. See you later. Have a good one. Make some chicken tenders with goldfish. Okay, bye.